Whoa, welcome into a chilly edition of the Casual Chaos Live program. That's right, kids, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the 40s here in Tampa, Florida. And as far as we're concerned, it's freezing. With that said, it's 8:08 on a Thursday night, 14th of January. I'm your host, Jay Ash, joined as always by Jeff and Bubba Took. That's a toque on his head, right?
Yes.
What is up, fellas?
Our play-in song sounds good with the headphones. I like that.
It does.
That was good stuff. How you guys doing? You guys doing all right?
Doing great.
I mean, after that intro, I feel like I just walked to the ring in WWE.
Yeah. It's intense.
Yeah, for those that don't know, we don't usually listen to our own intro. You know, we're kind of shy like that, but we got to listen to it through the headphones. Damn, that sounds good.
Good stuff.
That's all right. All right, so welcome back. We had a awesome weekend of football all around. We had college football starting last Thursday, and then NFL first round playoffs right through to Monday night. So we got a lot of football to catch up on. If you are joining this podcast tonight for your basketball info, your hot stove takes, political views, it's not happening tonight. It's going to be football, and we're going to try to make it work. So you guys want to start with college and just jump into kind of where we left off with the national championship? Any thoughts on the, burial of Indiana, Oregon, and what the Canes did to get to the championship?
Yeah, I mean, good win for Miami, right? I mean, that was a good game. Good win for them. Obviously, like you said, Indiana just ran through Oregon. I guess I'll save my prediction for the championship game. But Bubba, what did you think? Any thoughts? I mean, I guess really it only comes down to the Miami game. Any thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I mean, what a game, right? I mean, they really you got to be proud. They should be proud of themselves. I mean, they really were a team on the cuff that was barely getting in. They got in at the last second. They did what they had to do to get in and finish the season strong. But yeah, I mean, it just was a great win, and I think they got a fucking chance. I mean, I know we're gonna get into the game coming up, but if they keep playing like that, the only thing that scares me is Miami got a little beat up game before that, and the game past weekend. So it's something that I don't know if it could come back to hurt them or not, or put them in the passenger seat as far as the game coming up, but national championship. But we'll see. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Ash, what do you think?
They play a physical brand of football, so that's going to get you dinged up
Yeah.
every now and then. I think the adrenaline and the youth combined will get people healed and ready to go. I don't know about Michael Irvin, but everybody else should be ready to go. But from a gambling standpoint, I was happy with both outcomes. I was on both winners, both covers. Miami obviously made you sweat a little bit more in that. In Indiana, you could have went to bed after probably the pick six, but to start the game. But other than that, it was just dominance all the way around. And I thought it was actually from a just purely football standpoint, the more you watch that team, and we had a variety of different text threads going, all of us, I'm sure, but our particular one getting into where does this team rank? Could they be? Should they be? That type of thing. All I know is that is a well-coached football team. That is a true team. You can tell every one of those kids is bought in, and every one of those kids has each other's back, and they execute. When the quarterback fumbles for the first time in 1,000 snaps or however many that is, and there's an offensive lineman who's run 30 yards behind him the whole way to jump on that ball, it just shows you how disciplined that team is. So yeah, I just thought from a pure football standpoint, they're a joy to watch. From a gambling standpoint, it was a very profitable college week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much echoing it. You're playing pretty, really dominant football when you have talking heads on TV saying that you might be cheating. That's the
Yeah, I
allegations
saw
going
that.
around with Indiana now, that they're somehow cheating, which is just that's awesome. Like, if you're Indiana, that's like that's like added fuel. Like, dude, we're playing so fucking good. These people think we're cheating at this point. Then of course, unless you're cheating, and then you're like, oh fuck. But like, that's crazy. Yeah, they're just stomping people. And Miami just did enough, man. It was almost one of those games that they gave away. They fought through the whole thing, and to Bubba's point, that's the biggest concern, is that they did have some guys get banged up, but they did play on Thursday last week, and they don't play until Monday, so that little bit of added rest. I hate the Thursday and Monday. We barely play any games in college on Thursdays, and we never play them on Mondays, but we do our national championship game on a Monday night, and our semifinals are on Thursday, Friday. It just makes no fucking sense. I get not competing with college or the NFL, but there's only like fucking 4 games on those other days, so it's just stupid.
Yeah,
to
but
me.
I mean, my only argument with that would be that they're not playing on regular schedules anyway. I mean, they're playing like
Right.
every 10 days or every 11 days. So I mean, what difference does it make? You know what I mean? I like the fact that we had a game on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Between college football and pro football. I like the fact that everything was spread out.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I just think
and
it's weird.
I know, I hear you. I'm not disagreeing with that, but the game being on Monday is like you said. Not only are they escaping the NFL, but it's also a holiday.
Yeah,
so
that's a benefit.
yeah,
But yeah,
True.
I'm super excited about this game.
Well, I mean, should we be worried about the children, the student athletes, and
Correct. They can't go to school on Monday now, Jay.
there's scholastic sacrifice they're making
Yeah,
to just be at those venues. I'm sure there's just not 24/7 tutoring when you're not on the field. I'm sure there's nothing else going on, but just hard diligence into academia.
Well, luckily they're on their break during this time. They schedule it perfectly for their academics. Their finals were,
Yeah.
weeks and weeks ago. Those
Yeah,
ones that they actually went to and actually took finals, because they do that. Yeah, those ones.
Jay, you and I are old enough to remember when like graduation rates used to mean something. You don't hear anybody talk about that anymore. Like it doesn't even come up. You know what I mean?
It's like your retention rate now. Like, who can you keep?
That should be the new playoffs.
Yeah. Right. They're not even in school barely.
Oh my gosh, that's a good point, Jeff. That's a good point, Jeff.
If you can graduate for being on campus in the semester or graduate in the portal, then graduation rates would be high. Otherwise,
being serious about that, though, I mean, I was joking, obviously, but if you think about it, I mean, it used to be a thing where if you didn't have a certain graduation rate, you used to get dinged. I mean, you would lose scholarships. I don't know if that exists anymore. I mean, I don't hear anybody ever talk about it anymore.
Yeah, probably when the NIL stuff happened and transfer portal, all that goes out, because if you got a guy changing schools like 5 times, what kind of credits are transferring over and all that anyway? So who gives a fuck?
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe a cleaner way to say it is when it was amateur sports.
Yeah, exactly.
And a scholarship was the incentive, right?
Yeah.
Now it's professional sports and money's the incentive. So,
Yeah.
All right, let's not. This is not to douse the flames. That is the excitement of the national championship or the football weekend we saw. So let's jump right in. Both feet.
Indiana. Yeah, I'm on Indiana. I think they were the best team all year. Now, full disclosure, I mean, I won't be a revisionist here. I think I did have Ohio State beating them in the title game. I think that was my original pick. Yep. But again, just watching Indiana play the past few weeks, I mean, they're the best team in the country. Miami's got pros on that team, right? So, like you guys said, physically, they're not going to be overmatched. But I just think Indiana's a machine, and I'll be surprised if they don't win by double digits. So,
Bubba?
Taking the 8.5 points. I'm taking the 8.5 points of Miami at home. Jeff, everything you said is true. They are the best team in the country. There's no doubt about that. It's a home game for Miami. It's going to be a wild environment. I don't know if Mendoza's going to I think he's going to see more pressure than maybe he's seen all season. So we'll see how he reacts. I don't know. Let's see. But 8.5 points is a shit ton of points in a national championship game, especially with two great teams. I mean, Indiana's significantly better, and they've showed that. But I'll take the 8.5.
Yeah, I think Bubba. I think Miami's only real chance, like if they're going to have a legitimate chance to win the game, I think their edge rushers have to cause havoc.
Yes,
So,
no doubt.
yeah.
If the D line doesn't show up,
So, producer Tyler, you're going to be at the game, but we're not going to treat you like Kirk Herbstreit calling the game. So, what are your thoughts? We actually will give you.
Yeah. I think both sides. I get. I believed in Indiana this year just after like the first 4 or 5 games of them just mollywhopping teams, and it obviously just gets solidified when you beat Ohio State. If I'm, everyone's not knocking Miami, but some people are saying they have no chance. And if you're Miami, you beat down Ohio State probably more than Indiana did. And if Ohio State was this best team all season long, obviously they had the loss, so maybe that dings them a little bit to Indiana a week or two before. But you physically dominate Ohio State. Not that Indiana didn't, but you beat them down. To me, watching both games, I thought Miami did a better job against Ohio State than Indiana did. So if I'm Miami, I look at that as, well, I feel just as confident as anything to beat them at their game. If Ohio State kept it close with them and we beat Ohio State better, that's how I feel on it. I think Miami's got a good chance. To Bubba's point, I think 8.5's a lot, or 7.5, whatever it is. It's not shocking. Indiana's beat the last 2 teams they've played by fucking 40, and it would have been more if they just would have played their team the whole game. So it won't shock me if Miami keeps it close. It also it would shock me a little bit if Indiana just kills them, but at the same time, like, they've been doing it to everyone, so it probably wouldn't shock me. I'm gonna go with Miami money line just because I'm a Canes fan at heart, and grew up a Canes fan, so I'm gonna ride with the Canes, and I have been all playoff long, and it's obviously been beneficial. But this team's legit, man. Like plus
Tyler,
260 or something, I think maybe
Okay.
more,
Yeah.
maybe more.
It's up closer to 300.
Yeah,
I was gonna say this book that I'm looking at and show it.
yeah. It's got I got on the our friends at the Hard Rock got it at plus 260 right now.
Yeah, I see plus 270 here. So
yeah, so right around there. I just don't know what kind of game Miami will want to play, if they want to get in the shootout that they just had to kind of in the fourth quarter with Ole Miss that they had to play, or do you want to play the game they had against Texas A&M where it's a field goal game and it gets squirrely and defensive? I think they're going to be able to impose their will on both offensive and defensive line. It's just, again, can Carson Beck keep the ball out of the other team's hand, and can they force a turnover? Indiana hasn't done that much, so can they force the big turnover and pay it off?
I mean, that would be interesting. I mean, again, Miami's O-line and D-line are actually really good, but the strength of the Indiana team is their O-line and D-line.
Correct.
So, I mean, whoever, as you said, whoever imposes their will, in the trenches is probably going to win that game. So, yeah, I mean, if, like you said, if you think Miami's going to do that, then betting the money line is a great bet, So,
Yeah.
but I'm dubious whether that's going to happen or not. So.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. That's for damn sure. To Bubba's point, it's going to be rocking. But it's going to be a lot of Indiana fans. It's probably going to be 70% Indiana fans. And they don't mind this 40, 50-degree weather it's going to be when they play that game.
Balmy. It'll be balmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, what's the weather supposed to be like on Monday?
It's the high is 65, and the game's not till 7:30, so it's going to be in the 50s, 60s probably.
That's
probably
not bad, though.
probably in the 50s. But Indiana's much more acclimated to that than the Miami guys. That's for darn sure.
Sure.
All right. So no secret, all year long on this pod, I did not have a great time betting college football this year, to the point where I actually stopped laying some action towards the latter half of the year because it just wasn't working out, wasn't seeing the field in a clear manner, if you will. But I will go back to the preseason show, and I did call out the Big Ten that you should be nervous with 2 teams that begin with the letter I. And after the Illinois game, when Indiana throttled Illinois, it said, "Whoa, that's the team with the I." I knew one of those 2 teams with it
Right.
was going to come out of there. So I will take solace in that. My bank account does not. I also had them before the tournament, before the playoffs started. So I did put a future in on them at 3.5 to 1. So 100 pays 350 there. So I'm just going to let that ride. I see no reason why I should adjust it, even if I did something like a $50 hedge where I'm going to, win 45 versus win 295 or whatever that, 250 or I'm sorry. Yeah, no, 295, 300, that range. We'll wait and see what game day looks like and how I'm feeling, but I just have to win on the field. I don't have to cover the number. If I had to cover the number, I would probably just stay away from the game, or you have to take those points because it's a lot in a national championship game. But we have seen national championship games get out of hand early and often. So there's 2 points I would make. Yes, the venue is where Miami plays their home games, but 84% of all tickets sold, all the money is on Indiana, but the actual ticket dispersion is in favor of Indiana too. So I think you might see more red in that stadium than you see white, orange, and green. So we'll see what that looks like game day. Now, Michael Irvin and Ray Lewis, they count for 3,000 to 5,000 people each just with their volume. So that sideline should be going, and you may want to hang out with those guys after the game. So I'm looking forward to a good game. I think everybody's points are correct. I think, you can't yell at anybody to say Indiana most likely wins this game, and it is more than probable they boat race them. But it is not crazy to suggest that a physical team like Miami can't hold a crowd. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. So I'm not tearing up. I'm just going to sneeze. So I'm down with everything everybody said. I'm looking forward to a good game. I'm going to let my ticket ride because it's just win or go home. Low risk, nice reward, and let's have a good game. A lot of talent on the field, but I do think the differentiator is going to be one coach seems to be much better than the other.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's a good point.
It is a good point.
The only beneficial thing is Mario actually does better in big games than he does in like the throwaway Thursday night against Virginia game. He seems to get his guys going more for the big games than if this was again like Old Dominion fucking week 6. It'd be more scary. So
well, and listen, he's now playing with house money, right?
Correct.
If he was ever worried about his job, and after the SMU game, it was like, we got to get rid of this guy, that type of thing. He's bought himself at least 2 years because that's probably the longevity of currency these days for having a winning season. If he comes back next year and they lose 3 games, he's going to be back on the hot seat, right? But he definitely has bought himself 2 years at least for getting Miami back to the dance, somewhere they haven't been in quite some time. So
yeah, for sure. The only thing that sucks with all this stuff now, with all the transfer portal, you almost have to. You probably got like 2 or 3 guys on staff that are just trying to work the transfer portal that usually would be coaching during these games, both Indiana and Miami. It's not just Indiana or Miami that has to do it. Because of the transfer portal, you're taking away guys have to be doing other shit with recruiting almost right now. Like they don't have a quarterback next year as of right now, unless they've signed somebody already, but like they haven't had a commit yet. So like you got staffers still working on that shit, which sucks.
Right.
Yeah, this isn't the McShay show, so I don't think any of us are gonna, give you exactly what's gonna happen. But Miami is still a place where people want to go and play, and now that they've been back to the dance, the South Florida kids that were going somewhere else might, I'll stay home, right? And you're not going to be short of a quarterback if you have the top 5 wide receiver class coming in, and you have the best player in the country coming back next year. You know what I mean? So I don't think they're going to be hurting for late transfers, oopsies. We're already seeing kids signing $4 million contracts and then announcing they're going to the portal. Yeah. So anything's fucking possible these days. And True. I just think that the U still matters. There's some people where that it turns them off, and there's other it turns them on. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think they're in trouble with the QB though, because I think anybody who's worth anything is basically already signed somewhere else. So I don't know what they're going to do there. But one thing I wanted to point out is start of the season, Indiana was 150-1 to win the title, which is kind of shocking considering how good of a year they had last year. I mean, you wouldn't think it would be that high of odds, but yeah, if you were somebody who was smart enough to throw some money on them before the season started, you're in line for a hell of a payout. So.
I'm
Well,
shocked
Pat-
we haven't seen. I'm shocked we haven't seen like just through all the social media and stuff that anybody's put a ticket on. Have you guys seen anybody that has like, oh, somebody did it at the beginning of the year? Somebody had to have done
I've
it.
seen more Miami
Yeah.
ones, like Miami ones right before the college football playoff, like reveal like thing, like because they were like 110,000 to 1 to win because no one thought they were in. Like they were crazy.
Right, right.
Like my cousin TJ has a healthy bet because he made it right before the playoff. It's not a crazy like loss if he doesn't win it, but if they win, he's gonna win some good money because he banked on it when they were down.
Right.
I think we'll see Bubba over this weekend. Just pay attention to Bleacher to BR bets. I think you'll see a little bit of those tickets. You'll probably see some exact matchup ones from early on, and then you'll definitely see cash tickets. If Indiana closes the deal, it'll inevitably show somebody in Vegas that, you know, the casino is going to show that somebody cashed a, you know, $1,000 ticket at that ridiculous number, you know?
Right.
So I think it's inevitable. I would, it would be impossible that no one in the state of Indiana bet that.
Unless it's not legal there. Unless it's not, they say it's so funny that they say that Indiana has the largest living alumni base. I don't know why they really emphasize the living part. But it's shocking to me that I know it's a big school, but that they have the biggest alumni base is crazy to me.
Well, I think they lost a lot in the Civil War.
Yeah, something like that. It had to have been living. That's what they always emphasize. It's the weirdest thing.
Please don't fact check that, people.
Yeah.
Anyway, good segue from the Civil War to NFL playoff football.
Well, do we want to talk before we get to the playoffs? Do we want to talk about the NFL news? I mean, there's a lot of coaching shit going on.
Coach
sounds
Karras?
it sounds like Harbaugh is going to go to the Giants. I mean, it's not official yet, but it sounds like that's what's going to happen. So the question is, how good of a coach is Harbaugh?
What does he coach? That's my thing. Like, is he an offensive? He's a special teams guy, right? Like coming up. So, like, what is he? A specialist?
Yeah,
of?
I mean, I think he was like for a good portion of his career at Baltimore. I think he did coach the offense.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't over the last 7 or 8 years. I mean, he gave that title up, but I do think he fancies himself an offensive coach. But I mean, again, you know, he had a world-class defense for a good portion of his career. He had Lamar for the last 7 or 8 years, right? So Baltimore fans will tell you that he underachieved. So, you know, did he or didn't he? I don't know, but we'll see what happens. You know, he's going to be getting paid $20 million a year. That's what they're saying. He's going to be getting paid $20 million a year from the Giants.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
So yeah,
So much.
And as Ashton has said, I mean, I have said that they got talent there. Ashton has said, well, they got talent there that's kind of damaged. So what's it going to look like next year? That's all true. But assuming everybody comes back somewhat healthy, I mean, we're going to find out in a year or two whether he's actually a good coach or not, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's like Tomlin, though. Like Tomlin, you know, obviously he's gone as well. Is Tomlin a good coach? Did he underachieve? As a Steelers fan, do you feel like he underachieved, Jeff?
No, and here's why I'll say that. I mean, fans of teams don't want to look at anything logically. Okay, I mean, I get it. They just don't want to. But the fact is, the Steelers have not had a legitimate quarterback since Roethlisberger blew out his elbow 7 years ago. Okay, so he's been winning 10 games a year basically with scraps at the most important position in the game. You know, it's not shocking to me that he hasn't won a playoff game over that period of time because they don't have a quarterback. They haven't had a quarterback. So do I think that he's overrated? No, I think he's a good coach. He has flaws. He definitely had flaws as far as in-game coaching. But as far as being a general of a team, the players wanted to play for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were people crying, the other day when he announced he wasn't coming back. Bless you, Jay. So no, again, as me personally, I'm not speaking for all Steelers fans, but me personally, I think it's time for him to move on. I get it. I'm fine with it, but I have no problem with Tomlin. Tomlin was a good coach. I'm glad he was the coach of the Steelers for the past 19 years. And you okay over there? But yeah, and it's funny, Tyler. You know what I heard today? Actually, you guys, Rondé Barber, put out like something today. Did you guys see this? Where he talked to Tomlin before the season started, and Tomlin said to him, I think this is my last year. So Tomlin was telling him, even before the year started. But Barber is going even further with that. Barber is saying he thinks Tomlin's done. Period. Like he's done.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe a year off will recharge his battery. I mean, you never know how that works, but we'll see.
Yeah, as far as we'll find out a lot about Harbaugh, because Harbaugh, not that the Steelers front office is bad in any way, but Ozzie Newsome put something together there in Baltimore that a lot of the league's been trying to replicate a long time. They have had one of the most respected front offices going all the way back to the Ray Lewis Super Bowl years. The Steelers, to Jeff's point, when Roethlisberger was there, when that his second year, when the bus was running, the defense was special. They dined out on that for a long time, and Tomlin was young. Tomlin coming into those situations was a young coach. It's not shocking that he's where he is 19 years later and saying, maybe I'm just done. You made the money. You've got the scars. You've got the trophy. You've done a lot. You're very well respected. You don't need to prove shit. You're seeing guys like Howard and those guys who are all these guys are, hardwired, passionate, egos, all these boxes are checked, but it's, maybe it's time to just do something else. Enjoy life. That's a grind, what they do, right? It's an absolute grind because it's a thankless job in some regards, right? Only one coach gets to lift the trophy at the end of the year. The other 29 have either underachieved, overachieved, and we're not bringing you back, and vice versa. We got 9 unemployed coaches, or 9 teams without coaches right now.
Yep.
So, yeah, the Giants situation, I'm probably down on it more than others. And I don't think that front office is anywhere near Baltimore's front office. Yeah, you got a decent front four. Is it what you thought? I don't know. Tell me if you guys heard this before. Really good wide receiver out of LSU. Went to New York. He was really good. He was making one-handed catches. His career, he was Hall of Fame. Blew out his knee. Never the same. Right? We've got an instant replay of the same situation here with Beckham, right? With Neighbors.
Yeah.
So you're going in the year 3, coming off the ACL. It's going to take at least half the season to get back to any type of real form. And then he's got to get his own confidence back. I'm dubious of that. I'm not a big fan of running backs coming off of a completely ruptured, torn lower leg. That's not great. With a guy who's hardwired to be in the next 28 Days Later movie. So I just don't see how that's a good thing. And the quarterback's a wild card. He had a decent rookie year. He's got concussion problems already, and he runs like a wild man too. That can go really wrong real quick. Doesn't matter who the coach is.
Yeah, which is shocking why they would give somebody $20 million.
Yeah, because they've got a fan base that's starving, for productivity.
Yeah, no doubt. But he can't play quarterback or running back, so it's one of those things where
look, again, they have talent. I mean, to Jay's point, there's question marks just because of the injuries, but they have talent. And if you think he's a good coach, of course you're going to pay him. Now again, we're going to find out. Like I said, there's question marks whether how good of a coach he really is.
Is he bringing it? First of all, have they inked the deal? And second, is he bringing a GM with him? Is he bringing anybody with him to join that front office?
No. They have a GM who's actually decent. I mean, he's been drafting fine over the past few. I mean, talk about all the players that we just talked about. I mean, he's been drafting fine. The guy that they got. So, but the question is he gonna? What assistance is he gonna bring with him? I mean, that's because he'll basically get rid of everybody. I mean, it's the same thing with the Steelers. I mean, Rooney basically already told all the assistants that they're free to go look for other jobs because, unless the new coach wants to keep them on, they're all basically unemployed at this point. So,
Right.
and it'll be the same thing with the Giants. I mean, all the assistants are basically, I'm sure, looking for jobs. So Harbaugh will probably bring a bunch of assistants over from Baltimore. I mean, that's usually what happens. So
Has anybody filled the job yet? I honestly haven't even checked this week. So
No,
Okay.
they're the closest one, I guess. I mean, that's the first one that's been actually reported.
that's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
Are they waiting? Are they waiting for these last 8 teams to finish and then like poach off of them? I don't know. It is kind of crazy they're waiting.
They are a lot of the guys that these teams are looking at are still coaching. I mean, I know like there's a Rams coach that's doing a bunch of virtual interviews tomorrow.
The defensive guy, yeah,
and the offense. There's an offensive coach too.
Coach.
So yeah. So I mean, but it's not just him. I mean, that's the Rams. There's a lot of guys that are currently still coaching that teams are interested in. So that's obviously delaying things.
It's funny from a betting standpoint too. Like that's something you want to look at, right? Because we saw it with Detroit. They lost both of their coordinators, and we know that didn't go well for them this past year. So it's just something you want to look at as over under wins in a season. Like some of these teams, if they lose a coordinator or two, or just how does it impact them from a betting standpoint?
Well, and we're also going to get a Patriots situation too. And it could be Tennessee. Not that the kid there looked like Drake May in his rookie year, but Ward has a live arm. Ward's got talent. You get the right head coach in there and build a defense around him and actually protect him. Who knows what type of leap Tennessee can make? That type of thing.
Right.
So,
they may win 8 or 9 games instead of the 3 or whatever. They may have a chance.
Yeah. So we'll look at that next year. Let's get into last week's game and into this because this is turning into a talking head show instead of a gambling show, and we're not we're not paid the money we're paid to fucking say who's going to be coaching next. So we'll save that for later.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, give me. We don't need to talk about every game in detail, but give me one game that you won and one game that you lost that you're still kind of scratching your head about if you have it.
I'll go first. I'm not really scratching my head because it was the Pittsburgh-Houston game. I took Pittsburgh with the points. I thought same thing at home. It's a game that Tomlin, normally would win. So I lost. That was I remember texting you guys. That was the one game that I lost. I kind of hit everything else. I know we're going to do bragging rights later, and I know that I didn't win the most money in bragging rights, but I had a pretty good week. The one game that I was so confident in, though, and really made a good chunk of change was the Buffalo-Jacksonville game. And it got dicey, but Buffalo pulled it out. That was the one game that I was confident that Josh Allen really couldn't afford to lose that game. Neither could McDermott. So from a betting standpoint, I kind of hammered them and it worked out.
Yeah, my big loss was the Steelers. I mean, obviously, I was on the Steelers, and again, the final score looks ugly, but let's remember that game was 10-6 in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they just couldn't do anything offensively. It was a nightmare. The rest of the slate, though, I mean, I think I pretty much had all the winners. The only other one that I missed on was.
The Rams.
I thought the Rams were going to pound the Panthers, and they obviously didn't.
Yeah.
But they won the game. But the rest of them, I basically thought. I mean, it was actually a pretty. If you were just going to do money line bets, it was a pretty easy week to make picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I went a little harder on San Fran. I kept even units throughout, and I did have them in a money line parlay, which was nice. But that game I was very confident in. I did not like what I saw with the Eagles all year long, and I thought the Niners could go in there and win. The only game I lost besides the Pittsburgh game, but over on Sunday is, I went the other way with Jacksonville and Buffalo. I'm not saying that Buffalo should have lost, but Jacksonville certainly could have and might even should have won. Really comes down to 2 plays. And it just made me kind of giggle out loud because I'm like, here you go. Been against them all year. Now you're on them, you dumb mother. So, it's like, what do you expect? So it was actually calming. It was a little bit of a zen for me because I was like, I'm not even mad because I know that's exactly how this goes. That's the gambler's paradox, right? So I I don't know how Buffalo keeps going, so we can talk about that as we pick up the pace here. But that talk about a mass unit right now, and if somebody told me that Josh Allen needs a full body replacement at the end of the year, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so let's get into it. I mean, well, Tyler, you want to say anything about last week's games?
I was confident in the Bears. They were my lock of the week.
What a comeback!
Obviously, the first half didn't look good, but LaFleur's definitely, I think, on a little bit of a hot seat, which I don't think is kind of necessarily they should do anything with him. I think he should be the coach. And they extended him, right? You said, Jeff?
Well, they want to.
They want to?
They want to. Yeah.
Which looks like it'll happen. And then the other side, I was with Jay on the Jags, and I thought they had that game, man. And Josh Allen just made those couple big plays, couple big throws. Didn't seem like they could move the ball much in the first half, and even into the third quarter. And he made a couple big-time throws, big-time catches from some receivers that I don't know if they can keep it going, but that one hurt me. I had the Jags. They were the only game that I got wrong last week in a 6-leg parlay with some over-unders, and the only thing that missed was the Jags money line. So that was a tough one to end on.
I still don't understand how it's 4th and 1.5, and I just don't know how his shin was down.
Yeah.
Before he took off, it almost seems physiologically impossible for that to happen. I just don't understand how your shin got so low to the ground.
He like tripped.
Right. So it was just if they get that first down and then go in to score a touchdown, they're in a dominant. They're up 14-3.
Yeah, when they've been stopping them pretty much the whole game at that point, like it was dominant pretty much defensively.
But he was down. I mean, you're not arguing.
No. No.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's
that
like how? How did he do that?
I like physically. How did he do that? Not the call.
Yeah.
The call was fine.
No. I understood. I just want to clarify.
Yeah, I mean, you make a great point. Like Jacksonville easily could have won that game, but on the other side of it too, like some of the throws that Josh Allen were fucking absurd. Like it was pretty cool to watch him throw the ball. There was one pass in particular where he let the ball go, and the guy was not even close to. I mean, he was impressive. He was impressive. He got his ass beat up. I mean, you can tell he was struggling towards the end of that game, but hell of a game. He carried that team. We called it, right? He's going to have a great game. Somebody said it. I think it was you or Jeff, that he's going to have a great game if they're going to win the game. He's going to have to play out of his ass.
I have no animosity towards Buffalo, the team, at all. I got some Buffalo fans in my life I got some animosity towards. But other than that, I mean, listen, the guy is he's a one-man team. Like, what they have, 13 wins this year, 12 wins? And he's, hit him and Cook. I mean, that's what you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he is a one-man wrecking crew, and it acts like he's out there playing high school or, college football against NAI kids. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable what he does. I just think that's got a shelf life too.
For sure.
I mean, one of these tweaks and whatnot, the same thing happened to Mahomes, right? It's inevitable that you're just not going to bounce back. Your knee's not going to snap back into place. It's going to snap.
Yeah. And the thing with him.
Go
ahead, Jeff.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the thing with him that's impressed me though, like as he's had more years in the league, is he had an interception problem early, and I'm not saying he can't throw like a rogue one still, but he took care of the ball, last weekend, and I feel like he's being a little bit more
super inaccurate when he first came in.
Yeah,
like it was super inaccurate, altogether inaccurate.
So that part of it has changed for him, but I'm not saying he still can't throw a shitty throw and have it picked off, because he will try to make a play happen. That just happened. It happened with Favre. It happened with everybody.
Yeah, which is it's very unusual because quarterbacks that are inaccurate, I should say, that's basically a skill. Like whether you're accurate or not is like a skill. It's almost impossible to learn how to fix that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, especially in the NFL. Like if you can fix it in high school or college, at the NFL level, it's tough.
He's one of the very few guys that actually did it. So So kudos to him, but it almost never happens. I mean, if your flaw as a quarterback is that you're inaccurate, I mean, you're basically screwed for the most part. So look, he's a beast. He's big. He's not afraid of contact. But as you guys said, I mean, he's been in the league a while now. He's taken a lot of hits. That starts to add up. He's going up against another really good defense this week. So
good segue. Let's talk about it.
And he is plus 1.5 underdog in Denver.
Right, which is that's a lot of respect to Buffalo and basically him. That's all about him. So,
Yep.
Look, I don't know. I mean, obviously we're going to make some picks here, but I just don't know what to think about. I think the safest game is probably the Patriots. As good as Houston's defense is, I think the Pats are going to win that game somewhat handily.
From a spread standpoint or a money line standpoint?
Well, they're only given 3 points, so yeah, both. I think they're going to win by 7+ at the end of the day. I hope not. I'm not a Patriots fan, so I hope Houston figures out a way to win that game. But to me personally, I think the Patriots are probably the safest bet out of all these games. Again, I'm not sure how you guys feel. I mean, we'll get into our individual picks, but what's your overall view of this week's games?
I think the two AFC games are toss up. Patriots use. I think those are the best of the two games, in my opinion.
I'll just cut to the chase. I mean, my final four is still in place, so I'm just gonna hold with what I said before the playoffs started. Who I think was going to be in the NFC and AFC championship game. I'm lined up to see that come to fruition, so I'm going to stay with it. I don't see nothing changes me. The only game that the only two games that I lost is just Jacksonville is out and Buffalo goes to Denver, and Pittsburgh is out, which just means Houston goes to New England. But I had both New England and Denver moving forward regardless. I think Buffalo's too banged up to pull this one out, and I don't think that's a place where he can win by himself. I just don't think with the altitude, with the defense, chip on their shoulder, people are rested, and it's going to be bulletin board material that, we started as an underdog to this team. It doesn't matter that they're favored by 1.5. And, oh, by the way, you could argue should have won that playoff game last year in Buffalo. So there is a little revenge factor that I think is going oddly underspoken about in the general media. People kind of forget that. It was a fucking sick ending last year. Bo Nix was like, oh my God, is this guy actually good? Those types of moments. So I'm really looking forward to that game. And but I think Seattle is going to win handedly. I'm not worried about the Pats, and we could talk about the Bears-Rams game when we get into categories.
Yeah, I still have my Super Bowl teams alive. I don't have my, I lost the Steelers and I lost the Eagles. I thought they both would get to the title games, but I got the Rams and Bills still alive, who I got in the Super Bowl. So I'm doing okay in that regard. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that Bills game, it's weird, right? I mean, I could see the Bills sneaking out a victory, and I could see them getting pounded just because of all the. I mean, they're so beat up. I mean, them and the Niners are so beat up. You know what I mean? So it's just hard to expect those teams to keep winning games, especially this deep into the playoffs. But I'm gonna stick with my pick. So I got the Bills winning that Denver game, and I got the Rams winning too. So Bubba, what are you looking at?
I like if there's one team I think that's going to continue on the injury train winning, I think it's San Francisco. And I'm not going to bet the money line, even though I did last weekend, and I kind of want to, and maybe I will at the end of the day. But 7 points or 7.5 points actually is what you can get on. But I'll take that all day. I think that's going to be close.
Yeah, I'm worried about. I mean, the Seahawks handled them the last time they played, which was just a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
And the Niners have lost, even more players since then. I mean, Kittle's out, obviously, which is a huge loss for them. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Kittle went out in the first quarter, right? I mean, again, Philly's had
second
problems
quarter,
all year, so that's a good point. I think Seattle's way better than Philly. So I'm going off of how they played. I think I'm going off of how they played Philly, but I just think that game will be maybe a field goal. I don't think it's going to be 7.
Tyler, you have anything before I jump in and we segue?
Not really. I had the Bears. I have the Bears in the NFC Championship game, and I have the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. So those still look good. Jags, same thing as Jay. I had Denver, and I believe I have Denver and New England. I think in the AFC Championship game, I can't remember, but I had Denver to win the Super Bowl. So, that Denver game, I think Denver's just going to win that game, man. They're just really good, and they've been pretty much really good all season. And I think Bo Nix is a big moment for him. I don't think he's going to have to do too much. Like, I think he can just do what he does, use his legs a little bit, and I think they can get the win because their defense can contain Josh, because I think he's just literally going out there with nobody. San Fran, too banged up. Houston, I think, is a sneaky one. You'll find out later. That defense is so fucking good, man. And Drake May didn't look great last week. He got the job done. But I think Houston's defense better than Chargers defense, and he didn't look great. So
yeah, but you know who didn't look good was Houston's offense.
Correct.
I mean, again,
Correct.
Yeah, I mean the Steelers defense was all over those guys. And I think New England's defense might actually be better. I mean, than Pittsburgh's. So
yeah. Correct. It's just I think that defense is good enough. Would they only score 20 on the Chargers and the Pats last week, and they hit a bomb?
They have a really good secondary, but I think again it comes down to, can you protect the quarterback? If you could block their two edge rushers like we talked about in the Miami Indiana game, you're going to have a chance to do some stuff. If you can't block those guys like the Steelers couldn't the Steelers, that was as bad as I've ever seen. It drove me insane. But if you can't block those two guys, you're going to be for a long freaking night.
There's some fun clips because Will Campbell, the left tackle for the Patriots, was on LSU, and Will Anderson was on Alabama in like some big game, SEC championship game when they're in college against each other. And it doesn't look good for the left tackle of New England, 8 years ago, or, probably was less than that. But so that will be the question, Jeff.
The only difference in that is Drake May is slightly more athletic than Aaron Rodgers is right now. Maybe he can buy himself a little more time. But yeah, you're right, Jeff. That defense played out of this world. So if they can play the same way and for a tough.
Just more of how Drake May plays. If Drake May plays well, they're going to probably have a good. I mean, he just can't look like he did against the Chargers. Is more my point.
I mean, to Bubba's point, his mobility is a key, right? Because if he runs for 40, 50, 60 yards, I mean, that's a huge fact. I mean, Rodgers just can't do that at this point in his career,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Well, as we shift, I mean, the last thing I'll say is I would not be surprised. I obviously have Denver. I'm betting Denver. I've already actually put in the Denver bet when it was 1 even. I would not be surprised if Buffalo win. Like, it wouldn't be shocking. I would be shocked if the 49ers beat the Seahawks. Shocked. I just think the injuries catch up to you. The Seahawks have already proved. Seahawks should have beaten them twice. The fumble, everybody forgets that the empty hand in that first game and some bad coaching cost Seattle that first game. They dominated them. That score should have been 30-3, not 13-3, the last week of the season. And I think San Fran, even with Trent Williams back, no Kittle's a big deal. The defense will be licking their chops. That home crowd matters. Yeah, it's a divisional rivalry. But you want to take the 7.5, bump it up to 8, tease it up. That's fine. But to take a money line, it's a big ask. It's a big ask.
Yeah, no, yeah. The money line looked a lot better last week.
Yep.
The other thing is too that, I mean, all it takes is Darnold to have a Darnold game, and the San Francisco coach Shannon to have his best. He coached out of his ass too. Yeah,
but I think if you don't remember it, even though it was 3 weeks ago now. They did something in that game that I don't think anybody expected. They ran the shit out of the ball. And that's because the Seattle team doesn't necessarily completely trust Darnold. So I would not be surprised to see them come out. You get a steady diet of the running backs. You get a glass of Chardonnay down in the red zone, which will eventually open up JSN. And all he needs to do is catch 6-7 balls, and you're good for 80 to 100 yards and probably a touchdown. So
Right.
you're going to need a Herculean effort out of McCaffrey and everybody else. And depending on the weather and that environment, and who knows what the gamma rays coming off from their facility, how that travels up to Seattle with them. So, anyway.
Well, I mean, just real quick. I mean, since Ash, you did it, I'll take the point. I'll take the 1.5 with the Bills. I'll give the points with the Seahawks. Again, like you guys, I just think the Niners are in really tough shape, and the Seahawks do seem to have their number. So I think they end up winning that game by double digits. I like the Pats giving the 3, and I'm gonna go with the Rams. I mean, I'm gonna go with the Rams giving the 3.5. So those are my 4 picks.
All right. Well, let's go to the categories then. Your lock is.
All right, my lock of the week is the Rams minus 3.5.
Okay. Any particular reason?
I think they're the better team. I mean, I think they're the better team. I mean, I like their offense.
Okay.
Yeah, again with Adams being healthy, that's a huge difference for them. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, again, obviously he didn't do a lot last week, but now he's got another week of practice. He's another week healthier. Yeah, him and Puka, I think, will be the difference. So
Okay. Asking for a friend. Who did you have last week as your lock?
I had the Rams,
Oh.
who lost, but they won the game, which so
Okay.
which keeps them alive. I mean, they didn't cover the spread, but they won the game, so still alive for this week.
Okay. Lock of the week does involve the spread. So I'm going to go with the Pats minus 3.5. Looks a lot like the 3.5 I laid last week. Hear everything you're saying about the defense. Hear everything you're saying about Drake May not looking great. That offense is shaky at best, and I think the defense, especially with the interior alignment for the Pats, backed by the secondary, as long as Gonzalez is not in concussion protocol and is playing,
He is.
Nico Collins is most likely not going to be playing. So I don't know who's Stroud's going to throw to, and they don't have a run game, and they have a bad offensive line. I think Vrabel is probably just doing naked push-ups somewhere, excited about this game. I think that defense is going to be a problem for the offense. I think the Patriots at home just need to make 1 or 2 plays. If you like unders, this might be one, but I think the Pats are easy 6+ point win here.
Yeah,
And
I like that pick, Jack. Yeah.
And Jay, CJ Stroud has to catch the snap before he can throw it.
He had
a little trouble with that in the last game.
I don't know, Bub. It sounds like you're getting old. That's an old way of doing things.
Yeah, him and his center. I don't know what the hell was going on there, but there was they got away from that.
Crazy.
That's going to end up in a Patriot if that happens. It's happening.
Yeah. Who do you got for your lock?
My lock. I'm going to take the Niners. Confident in them. I know they're banged up. We talked about all the reasons why they wouldn't. I just 7. I see it at 7. It may go because of everything you guys have said. It may go to 7.5, 8. But I like them. I'm going to take a chance on them. That's my lock of the week. I think all these games this weekend are going to be close. So we'll see. But that's my lock. 49ers plus 7.
Yeah, my lock is I'm going against Jay. I'm going Texans plus 3.5 as my lock. I think the defense I think they're like the Ravens in 2000. I think that defense is just fucking nasty, and they can win playoff games just with the defense. So I'm just riding with the Texans. I know I wish Nico Collins was in. I probably would have taken a money line if Nico Collins was playing. But I'll take the Texans plus 3.5. I had the Bears money line last week as my lock of the week. Looked great the whole time.
It's fair.
Yeah.
You want to run back? Let's just run it back the other way. Tyler, you wanna do props?
Tyler, did you say it looked great the whole time?
Yeah, looked great the whole time. Never a doubt, really. Never a doubt.
I love it.
Who do you got for a prop?
So my prop, I'm going a little weird here. 2-point conversion in the Bears-Rams game. I think you might just get a bad field goal, a bad extra point because you're outside in that weather and that cold. So it's a 2-point conversion somewhere down the line in that Bears game, maybe a big moment towards the end. 2-point conversion plus 190.
Is that Tyler? It says conversion, so that means it's not an attempt, right? They have to actually get it.
No, a 2-point conversion. Yeah, you got to get it.
Okay.
Plus 190.
All right. I like
Tasty.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, just
You know.
fun. Someone go for the win at
All
the
right.
end of the game instead of overtime. Some
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Yeah, I like it. Plus 190. I feel like that should be more.
Right?
Plus 1. I like it. I'm all in on the Niners Niners game here. I got Sam Darnold as my prop throwing a pick, minus 107. I think he's going to throw a pick.
All right.
So did I.
It's minus. Yeah, makes sense. It worked for you last week, so stay hot. I like it.
Yeah.
Speaking of staying hot, I'll be riding Colston Loveland over 80 yards at plus 185. I was tempted to go over 100. I just want to lock in the bet. I'll have a ladder with him anyway, come game day. So I'll have some piece of him plus 250 plus 280 to go over 100 yards. But clearly Caleb's favorite target right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's a monster. And unlike Tyler Warren, to finish the year in Tyler's defense, he didn't have an arm like Caleb. He had guys playing on broken legs and coming off the couch. But Loveland looks like he's actually getting better as the season goes on, which is kind of rare for a rookie. So, and I think we all know this, even though Jeff likes the Rams yet again, you can throw on them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I think they will be throwing the ball. So that's what I got.
No doubt. Yeah, I got Allen over 1.5 touchdown passes plus 135. So I feel pretty confident in that. So, I mean, I'd be shocked if he doesn't throw 2 TDs. So we'll see what happens. Last week I had Hurts anytime touchdown plus 124. That obviously didn't happen. I went 0 for 3 last week. So unlike Bubba and Tyler, they actually went 3 for 3 each. So congrats to you guys.
And that hurts.
Well, you had a good week. You went 2 for 3. That works.
It does. Why don't you give us your underdog? So I'm going to call this out ahead of time. I don't understand how both of you guys have an underdog that are actually underdogs. Want to explain?
Well, I mean, they're not underdogs money line, but they're underdogs by the point spread. So, yeah, I got Bills minus 105. I'm not exactly sure why it's minus, considering the fact that they're plus 1.5 and with the points. But yeah, so Bills minus 105. Again, I'm just riding with the teams I got playing. You know, I got the Rams and the Bills playing in the Super Bowl, so I can't. I mean, I picked that last week. I can't turn away from them already at this point. So I'm riding those guys. Lock Rams minus 3.5, Bills minus 105. So
Okay.
we'll see what happens. Might be a train wreck, but we'll see what happens.
Producer Tyler, would I be wrong to say that this category is actually called Moneyline Underdog Play of the Week?
Yes, it generally speaking is. I can't talk. I had Buffalo last week, and they were minus 110. And I said it when I did it. They were both minus 110, so I wanted to pick one of those guys. So I'm with Jeff on this one.
Jeff and I looking right now at the alternative site plus 100 money line Buffalo Bills. So I will be having them.
That is, if they are plus 100, what's the other side?
Even money.
Okay, thank you.
Even money.
Moving on.
There is a plus sign though.
Yeah. As Cosmo Kramer would say, plus 170 Bears, a true underdog at home, winning on the field in frigid weather. Matthew Stafford and his old bones will be on the ground and hard to get up. Minus 11, just cold, guys. That stadium's going to be rocking. I think it is a recipe for an upset, a dome team coming off a win that could have been a loss very easily against an inferior team. Never a good sign as far as I'm concerned. You guys already mentioned they have they have an offense and defensive coordinator interviewing for other jobs, and I think the weather sucks the energy out of them early. So I'll take the Bears.
Yeah,
Go Bears.
Yeah.
Bubba, you got the
I don't
Bills,
trust
obviously, you said. I like that,
Yep.
Jay. I was going to go with the Bears as well.
Nah.
But I didn't want to do it because you already had it. And I'm kind of punishing myself a little bit here with my minus bet from last week. But I'm going to go with the Niners, man. I'm just going to shoot the biggest shot. I think they just have some kind of lucky horseshoe this year. They just kept fucking winning when they shouldn't have won. Now, that fucking Seattle team's good, but maybe they're thinking the same thing, that they're good and these guys are hurt and we can go in here and win this game. I'm riding with that. I'm punishing myself a little bit. But we'll go with the Niners. Big money.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. Well, let's move on to bragging rights,
All right.
shall we?
Yeah, we definitely. I mean, we're looking forward to doing that this week, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
we got 2 winners this week.
The first time ever.
First time ever. So we had Jay. Was this you here with the Miami minus 3.5, Indiana minus 3.5, Tet McMillan over 79.5, and DeAndre Swift with an anytime touchdown?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Big win, dude. That's an awesome one right there.
Yep.
Nice.
That was very nice, and it was nice that it was kind of a step, a little bit on Thursday, a little bit on Friday, and then a little bit on Saturday. And obviously it took the DeAndre Swift touchdown to get in, and I know I sent you guys because we were talking about the cash out offer I got, and I sent you guys the Leo meme from Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not fucking going, But I can tell you, because I did watch the second half in bed, and I'm saying to myself, like in full Russell Crowe voice in my head, hold, and I'm like, I got the phone in my hand, and I'm like, fucking cash out, and I'm like, hold. I'm like, I think they're gonna win this game. He's gonna be part of it, and sure enough, he scored. So that was a lot of fun. It was nice to see me come out on the right side of it. So thank you.
What was it again, Jay? What was the cash out? Like 250 or something like that?
720.
I got it. Well, the payout was 720. Before the game started, it was as high as 292. So just rounded up to
Oh, wow.
$300.
Yeah.
And on a cash out, I'm looking for at least 10-1 on my money in that situation, and it was over that number. But the integrity of bragging rights matters to me. And
Absolutely.
I don't know how much you won, Bubba. I don't want to spoil it for people, but I knew you were in the running, and I certainly wasn't gonna. Even though everybody's like, "Go ahead and do it,
God.
do it."
Oh my God,
felt
I
like-
couldn't imagine.
I'm like, oh my God, if I do that and he wins more money than me, I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking hear the end of it. So we're holding tight. So that's it.
Oh God, that's awesome. Great hit. Great.
Love it. And this was Bubba's winner.
Yes, this was me. So I had the over in that Rams Panthers. I did also bet the Panthers plus 10. So I ended up coming through. They lost. They covered 10.
Yep.
I think a lot of us had the 49ers money line, so that was a solid one to throw in. Then I had the Patriots to win the game. Chargers did not show up, and then Indiana money line. And after you guys know that was kind of a blowout too. So it was kind of easy. The only one that was really super scary was the 49ers, and they played a great game and ended up pulling it out. 25 wins 328. So not even half of what Jay won. So I come in second place on the bragging rights, but it's nice to have 2 this week.
That's a good job, Bubba. I didn't understand the I know I mentioned this to Ashton during the week that the Eagles, not only were the Eagles favored, but the line was like moving to their favor as the week went along. I just didn't make sense to me. I didn't get it. So
Yeah.
Nice hit.
And then we had Jeff. Unfortunately, Jeff, only one that didn't get the job done. But he had the 49ers money line. He had the Chargers money line, Steelers money line, and you had the Bears money line. So went 2-4.
I went 2-2. Yeah, which not good enough, but it's okay. We had 2 winners, so that's all that matters.
Yes, sir. And we got another week. So we got Jeff. You want to lead us off, Jeff?
Yeah, so I'm riding some quarterbacks this week. I got Josh Allen throwing 1.5 touchdowns. Same thing with Bo Nix. I got Indiana giving the 9. I think they're going to win double digits. and I got Caleb Williams also throwing over 1.5 touchdowns. So, what 25 pays? What is that? I can't see that. Tyler,
415.
can you see it? Okay, there you go.
415.
25 plays 415. Yeah. So,
You have-
and I like this one. I actually like it a lot. So, yeah. See
You
what
got
happens.
Indiana? You have Indiana in there?
Yeah,
-9.
given 9. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Nice.
All right. And then Jay, I believe this one was you here.
It is.
RJ Harvey.
It is. It is high. RJ Harvey. I think that Peyton looks at the Jacksonville game and just says, "Can you tell me again why that you just didn't run ETN to the outside all game long? They couldn't stop it." At one point in time, both running backs for the Jags were averaging 9.5 yards per carry, and they just weren't running the ball. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. I think Lawrence was averaging over 8 yards a carry. So I think Peyton is going to go full Alvin Kamara with Harvey on Saturday, and I think Harvey gets this number before the half. So I'm going to double down on that and look for that bet actually. Definitely over 50 yards for the first half. I think the Patriots win by, like I said, 6 or more. I'm going to be seeking out that line as well from an alt play. I like the Bears on the field. I don't like dome teams in frigid weather. And like I said, I think the Rams are very gettable right now. I don't think the defense, outside of a decent pass rush and a good, not great run D, I think Caleb's going to sling the ball a little bit. I think that was a big confidence win. That team obviously is the team this year that doesn't die. And, Ben Johnson's proven he looked like a terrible coach in the first half, but he's obviously doing something at halftime, and so is the defensive coordinator, because they came out like a whole different team in the second half. So I like the Bears to juice this up a little bit. And then I like the Seahawks, guys. I know everybody's got an opinion the other way, but, I'm not going to let my eyes fool me. I watched that first game of the season. Seattle was the better team. I had Seattle all year long. I had Seattle as a Super Bowl pick. I have no reason to come off of that. They're playing a mash unit. They're at home. Their home field advantage is very real. And I just don't think you can just get as lucky as San Fran's doing. Shanahan's actually statistically not a good coach. And if he goes down by 7 points, the game's over.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know if I'll ride with you on the Shanahan not being a good coach part, but I'm with you on the Seahawks. I think they win that game easily. So
I'll put just a quick subtext to it. He is a good coach. If they go down by 7 in the fourth quarter, the game's over. He's never had a 7-point comeback ever.
that's fair, but part of the issue is that again, we sent around some texts about people might have heard about they're trying to figure out reasons why the Niners are banged up every single year. You know what I mean? So he is like winning with freaking
Nobody kind of.
Yeah, it's crazy the things he does with sometimes the players that he has, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm with you on I'm with you on the Seahawks. I think they win easily this week.
I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm saying he has a proven track record of not winning when they're down 7, and statistically his record is not as good as people think it is. He's a genius for what he pulled together this year, and should be top 3 coach of the year. I'm not arguing that point. But I do think Seattle mops them up. I will come on air next week and I will apologize to the general public, Bubba, and Tyler, if I'm proven wrong. So I'm going to ride this out. I'm going to go back to back. It's 2026, the year of my bragging rights, motherfuckers.
Go.
All right, Bubba.
All right. 25 wins 194 and 95 cents. Really, I guess it's odds. Yeah. Anyway, I got 3 money lines here and a spread. I got the Buffalo Bills to win that game. I got the 49ers to cover 7. So Jay and I are opposite, I think, on the Bears game and 49ers.
We're opposite at 3 out of 4.
Yep. And I got the Patriots to win that game outright, -180, and then I've got the Rams at -200 to win. I really wish I could change the Rams, but the tickets are already up there because I do think that the Bears have a really solid chance on winning that game because Caleb Williams is playing kind of out of his mind right now, and the Rams secondary is kind of iffy.
Is he though? I mean, is he playing out of his mind?
Playing
he
good.
makes like some he makes some
He's playing
ridiculous
good.
throws.
Yeah.
No, he makes ridiculous throws every once in a while, but then the rest of the time he looks like a subpar quarterback. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not
we'll
playing
see.
out of this world, but he's playing good.
Yeah.
By the way,
He's playing better than Bryce Young.
Hey Ash, I meant to mention this earlier. To your point, you were talking about how they have like some magic this year. I think they've won 7 games this year where they were behind, like going into the 2-minute warning. So
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That shit's fluky, right? I mean, next year it'll change. Like it won't be the same next year. But right now they're right in the wave. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, I think it's going to be a great weekend of the 4 games that are going to be on are going to.
I hope so, Tyler. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, Bubba. Jesus. Yeah.
This
Well,
is why we call it-
and then Monday night we got a full slate Saturday. We got Saturday, Sunday, and then we got Monday night, which would be awesome.
It's exciting.
This used to be my favorite weekend of the NFL. Like this weekend used to be my favorite weekend. So
Why not? Why is it not? It's not your favorite
What
anymore.
changed?
Age. Old age.
no. I'm still looking forward to it. I'll watch all the games, but probably basically the Steelers used to be playing. They used to be eating this weekend every single year. I mean, it was every single year.
True.
So
True.
that was part of it. But no, I'll be watching all the games. I'll see every one of them. So
Good stuff.
yeah.
All right. Well, bragging rights is over. We had 2 winners. We're hoping to run it back. Let's see if all 3 of us can win this week, which is actually a statistical
Can't happen.
impossibility. So, it was trying to be nice. Who am I kidding? It's 2026. I'm all about me. I'm all about me.
One little nostalgia talking point. So we were always we were talking this whole week or weekend about like the best teams ever, or this and that, right? The last 20 years. And so I just started going through a rabbit hole, and I came across the 2008 Boise State, 2008 really, and 2009 Boise State team, and those teams were pretty damn good too. They never won at all, but they beat some pretty fucking good teams. And that coach was pretty ridiculous. He had a pretty solid record, but just a little nostalgia. That blue field, Boise State, they had a good run too.
Yeah.
They did. Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty and the hook and ladder.
Yeah.
Fucking
Pretty
crazy.
impressive.
Who was that running back? He went to Denver for a couple
Ian
years.
Johnson.
He had a minute, right? He had like a couple.
Ian Johnson. Something like that.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode. I hope everybody is looking forward to a fun weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And Monday's a holiday. So, enjoy your long weekend. Socials probably flashed at Casual Chaos Live. Check us out on all the socials: Instagram, TikTok, X, Discord. If it's out there, you can find us. Please follow us at YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your pod. If you would be so kind, we shouldn't pander, but we will. Like, subscribe, all the above. If you don't like, let us know. We like comments. All right. So for Jeff, for Bubba, for traveling to Miami, producer Tyler, I'm under the weather, Jay. We appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Hi, everyone. This is Jay Ash, one of the hosts of the Casual Chaos podcast. Podcast you are about to listen to discusses gambling and wagering on sporting events. Please be advised the gambling and sports wagering content during this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial or gambling advice. Sports wagering involves significant risk. If you choose to gamble, please do so responsibly and only gamble with funds that you can comfortably afford to lose. All opinions, wagering tickets discussed, or implied wagers on the Casual Chaos podcast are not guarantees to result in financial gain. You must be 21 years or older or of legal gambling age in your jurisdiction to participate in sports wagering. Please verify the gambling and sports wagering laws and regulations within your jurisdiction prior to placing bets. Listeners are solely responsible for their own wagering decisions and outcomes. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call or text the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537.
we encourage everyone to engage with sports betting responsibly. The host and the Casual Cast podcast assume no liability for any losses incurred as a result of listening to this content.